A neuron is a highly specialized cell designed for electrical signaling. It receives inputs through branching structures called dendrites. These signals are processed in the cyton, or cell body, which maintains the health of the neuron. The message then travels along the axon, the main output path. To ensure speed, segments of the axon are covered by an insulating myelin sheath. Gaps between these sheaths are known as nodes of Ranvier, where the signal is refreshed as it jumps along the fiber. Watch the signal propagate through the circuit. This unidirectional flow allows for complex communication across the entire nervous system. In the resting state, the neuron membrane is polarized, maintaining a membrane potential of -70 millivolts. The NAK pump actively moves 3 sodium ions out of the cell for every 2 potassium ions moved in. This results in a high concentration of sodium outside and high potassium inside, keeping the neuron polarized. The action potential begins when a threshold stimulus triggers voltage-gated sodium channels to open, causing a sudden influx of sodium ions. Sodium rushes in, rapidly depolarizing the membrane and flipping the internal charge from negative to positive. Immediately following, sodium channels close and potassium channels open, allowing potassium ions to flow out, which repolarizes the membrane to its resting state. This wave of electrical change propagates along the axon, following the all-or-none principle. Once the threshold is reached, the action potential continues at full strength. By shifting these charges rapidly, the neuron ensures that signals are sent quickly and reliably throughout the nervous system. To understand how impulses travel rapidly, we compare 2 types of nerve fibers. On top is an unmyelinated fiber, where the signal must travel continuously along the entire membrane. In contrast, myelinated fibers use the myelin sheath as an insulator. The electrical signal jumps from one node to the next. This is known as saltatory conduction. Saltatory conduction is significantly faster and saves metabolic energy by restricting ion flow to the nodes of Ranvier. The electrical signal reaches the synaptic knob, the terminal of the neuron. This arrival triggers the opening of voltage-gated calcium channels. Calcium ions, shown in green, rush into the knob, acting as the key to the next phase of communication. These ions force the synaptic vesicles to fuse with the presynaptic membrane, releasing neurotransmitters like acetylcholine into the synaptic cleft. Finally, the neurotransmitters bind to specific receptors on the postsynaptic membrane, successfully triggering a new impulse in the neighboring cell. This chemical bridge ensures that neural communication remains unidirectional and precise. Signal transmission follows 2 distinct modes. Along the length of a neuron, the signal travels as an electrical impulse through the movement of ions. However, at the synapse, the signal converts to a chemical message, utilizing neurotransmitters to bridge the gap between neurons. This synaptic transition is critical because it ensures unidirectionality. Receptors exist only on the postsynaptic side, enforcing a one-way path for neural information. To understand the full circuit, let's trace the signal pathway. It begins with a stimulus at the receptor, traveling through the sensory neuron to the spinal cord, then triggering a response through the motor neuron to the muscle effector. The muscle reacts immediately to protect the body. Only after the movement occurs does the signal reach your brain, allowing you to finally feel the sensation of pain. That is how your nervous system turns a stimulus into a life-saving response in just a few milliseconds.